Everyone, it's Peanut Butter Kong. In this video, we have some huge economy changes. I think this honestly might be the death of Windsward as a central trading hub. So one of the big changes is now you can buy items anywhere. So right now I'm in Windsward and I can buy an item in Everfall. So we'll just do this like softwood tree sap, even though it's total trash and I'm going to toss it on the ground. It's 1 cent. But there you go. We bought something in Everfall and we're in Windsward. And the thing is, we're paying. So there's still taxes depending on the town. So if we go to Windsward, there's a 6% tax. If I go to Everfall, there's a 7% tax. The way the tax works is now it's based off the town that you're in, that you're buying and selling stuff in. So if you're buying the item in Windsward, you have to pay the Windsward trading tax, which basically just means Windsward as a central hub is kind of no more. Now it depends on the trading tax itself. So you have somewhere like Monarch's Bluff right now where these guys set the trading tax to extreme. There's absolutely no reason to buy or sell something in a town with a high tax like this. Absolutely zero reason. Now, like on my server right now, we could go over on the map, click on the first light symbol. You can see that the trading tax for this is 2.5%. This is going to maybe end up being like the hub in the sense that they're undercutting some other major players. So will some of these guys stay at high, above average tax rates? I don't think there's any reason. Like before, like it made some sense to sell like infused health potions and reek water, even though it wasn't too busy. Maybe you could sell at a little high price, and the guys are buying it here. They could do some elite chest runs and use some of the health potions potentially. So like there's like a semi-need for it now, but now it's going to be based off of the lowest price, and that's huge implications. So like for myself, I was selling star metal arrows in some random towns like Brightwood, like for 90 cents. This is like a fairly recent sell order. I think I did this yesterday. So star metal arrows, now I have to compete with people that aren't actually trying to make like a profit off of the star metal arrows, and they're trying to undercut everyone and sell at a loss. Like they're realistically, if the people aren't calculating these numbers, they're just making these star metal arrows to level up their engineering, and they're selling at a loss. So now, if you're trying to craft in the game, there's a huge impediment in terms of the cost effectiveness of it. Like, uh, like instead of making star metal arrows or something now, where it might actually have some resale value, you might be thinking about just crafting something that you can just scrap for parts because you're probably competing against people in the market. They're selling at a loss. So like the resale value, like you could no longer go to like Brightwood or something that might have like a less active market than Windsward and sell up there, where Windsward people might just be like crafting at a loss on a slight loss. Now you're competing against everyone. That's going to make the market, I guess, more efficient or more liquid. It's going to make the buy and sell orders really tight. So anyone who's like trying to flip items is going to have a much harder time. Anyone that's crafting is going to have a much harder time. And we could also go over into the actual developer post itself and show you guys some economy. So one interesting thing, this is from the developer blog. Players can no longer post sell orders when their storage is full. This has, I think, larger implications than maybe. I don't know why they did this, honestly. I don't think this was a bug. Like, if I buy a ton of, like, metal, my storage gets full, and I end up, like, crafting that metal and, like, making stuff with it, um, uh, you kind of have, like, an impediment now to doing some of this activity. Like, if you buy a bunch of, like, lodestone brick, which is heavy, obviously, and you try to, like, resell it, and make the market more efficient, you're gonna have a tough time. So, interestingly, if you go back over to the game here, I mean, I don't think this is going to be like the long-term solution, but like heavy items right now on my server, you have like lodestone brick with a buy order of 12 cents and a sell order of 345. Like, this is definitely obviously looks like way too wide, but I wouldn't be surprised if some of these heavy items that like you need to buy a ton and try to sell a ton too to like make much of a profit at all because like it's pretty cheap and it's very heavy. Some of these items are going to get less efficient, even though like the economy technically should be more efficient now. Um, so that's something to keep up in mind, even if you're trying to still flip items. Maybe this will be like a weird quirk, um, like semi long term. I think this is a little bit too much, but I think an idea like that might end up working. Um, and we're gonna go back over here as well to see the other economy changes. So this is explaining the trading post links that have been linked. So explained earlier on, and they're saying the maximum days is now 14 from 28. I don't think this has huge implications. If you placed really long days on your tax on your orders, the tax is a lot higher, and if you're placing like a really bad price on something, you're probably not going to hit, and it'll probably even expire worthless and use like one of your 100 trading slots for 28 days. So that's far from ideal, especially if you like actively buy and sell stuff. Um, and they reduced the durability from PvP deaths by 10%. I thought it was kind of interesting. They put this under economy. So basically, they are taking out some of the risk of doing PvP, and they've applied a global luck bonus. Let's see. Yeah, they added a 10% luck bonus and a 30% luck bonus to players flagged for PvP. So they basically increased the reward for flagging for PvP and decreased um, the risk of flagging for PvP if you die, so the durability of your items doesn't get totally ruined. So now you'll have a lot more luck, and all those like rare resources that are getting from like orichalcum or ironwood or anything, they're gonna be way easier to get now with that luck bonus. Like heck, I could see someone like going around like naked in the woods now, like just without any gear on them, and flagging PvP, getting a pretty nice luck bonus, and getting the material that they want. So I think these prices are going to end up crashing. So be careful if you have too much of those like rare resources at the moment. Um, those prices are going to change. And they also ended up reducing the quantity of honey and milk that you can collect by a pretty significant amount. So you can see that the milk was cut by, and the honey is cut by more than 50% each. So like theoretically, the prices should double from where they are now on your server. It's going to make the cooking profession harder to level up because a lot of the cooking recipes are based off of honey and milk. Like if you're making a seasoning blend or something like that, one of the cheapest ways to do that was using honey. Um, that's going to change the price slightly now. Um, and another big thing with the economy that I think is actually a nice change is housing taxes are now due every 7 days instead of every 5 days. Like still at 7 days of housing taxes is still a very significant cost. It's kind of funny. I don't even have a house, but for a lot of people that already own houses, that's going to be a nice reprieve. Because you can tell, like you're paying 6% every 7 days now, or 5%. Let's see. This guy has 20%. I mean, you could be paying a massive percentage based off of your house, like on an annualized basis. You're paying kind of insane rates now. So let's go see. You could be paying like just say a 5% rate. You could be paying like for your house like over 2.5 times effectively, even at one of the lowest rates. Um, annually. So like that $10,000 house that you just bought, you know, you could end up spending like 25,000 just on the maintenance of it, or more. You could, you know, you could end up spending a multiple. You could spend 50,000 on your house, depending on the tax rates and who's like changing the territory, etc. So it's just something to kind of keep in mind. Housing costs did decrease though, so if anyone's been feeling the burden of that, they'll like slightly help you out a little bit. But by and large, this update has totally changed the market price. If you're buying or flipping items, I think you're gonna have a really tough time. And if you're crafting items and trying to like make a profit off of it, I think you're going to run up into the problem of there's going to be a large group of people that want to level this stuff up, and are willing to do it at a loss. And you're going to have to compete with that price. So that's a pretty big economy change. Just wanted to update everyone. And thanks for watching. Much appreciated. And I'll see you next video.